Hello and welcome back everyone, we're of course back, and today as you can see, we're back on Skyblock for another guide all about how to make a ton of money. This time, you don't even have to really work for it, it's mostly passive. Anyway, let's get started and see how to make a ton of money. The first method we are going to be talking about is the simplest, easiest method physically possible in Skyblock. Easier than last time where the first method was just harvesting wheat. This time, all you have to do is wait, and of course, deposit money. But, if you couldn't tell by now, this method is to wait for interest from your bank. Now, if you put 15 million coins in, that is no small amount, I know, and I'm not acting like it is, but if you can use the other methods on this video and last video to get that 15 million coins, and put it in here and just leave it as a bit of a savings, then every 31 days you can make 250,000 coins. Now I know it may not say that right now, but that's because I of course don't have 15 million coins. If I did, it would say 250,000. But after that point, say you put in 16 million, it's just going to lower the percentage and you're still going to get 250,000. So I suggest having, once you have 15 million coins, at least 15 million in there at all times, for your maximum interest earnings. Anyway, on to the next method. Okay, we are here for the second method. This one is going to take a little bit of money to start up, definitely not 15 million coins, and I do actually have at least one guide that mentions this already, but this definitely fits into this list, so we're going to talk about it anyway. This next method is minions as a whole, but you're going to want to look out for some specific ones. So, for example, an iron one, I don't know how I clicked on the chest right there, is not going to make you very much money. This thing has been going for about a day, or maybe a night, whatever. It's made about 50k. Those are rookie numbers, you know, that's not much. Now, a fish minion, on the other hand, just in enchanted fish alone, in that same amount of time, has gotten me over 53k, and there are so many other things here that'll add to that. But the final one I want to talk about for this method is actually the sheep minion. Now I have it in with the cow minion, but ignore that, that's mostly for collection purposes too, but it is good for money if you get it to an alright level. But the sheep minion. Now I just collected from this thing, but even normal mutton, you will get 2,500 to stack for, which is insane if you think about it. Now, if you get a lava bucket, a super compactor, diamond spreading, you will get insane money from these things. This is a low level. This is level 7. Its friend up here is level 3. That's not high in the slightest. But if I go right over here, did not mean to hold my bow for that, enchanted mutton currently is selling for almost 370,000 coins for a stack. And when I got on, each of those had about 15 in them. And once again, low levels. I was not off for that long, it was maybe about a night. So that is a solid amount of money. And those really do not take much money to get set up. All I suggest you do is buy 1,000 mutton from the bazaar, and then you can level them up up to the point of needing the enchanted mutton, and you can decide if it's worth it from there. But personally, I absolutely think it is to save your mutton at least. I don't know if I'd say it's worth it to spend your money that you already have to buy more mutton. Anyway, I know I just said a lot about minions, but on to the third method, which also actually involves minions. Okay, so you may have noticed I did not talk about this minion setup right here. And I may have talked about it in a prior video once again, but this one deserved a method, category, list number all to its own. This is of course the slime minion meta, kind of, I guess would be the best thing to call it. This is essentially when you get a slime minion, you give it fuel of course, you know, enchanted lava bucket is solid, or maybe some cheese or whatever else. I suggest going for something cheap with a good percentage of boost. So lava is very good for that. Or as I said, the cheese blocks are only like 7,000 coins for, if I recall correctly, 90% boost, but they only last like an hour, so that's up to you. Anyway, your choice of fuel is essentially what I'm getting at. You want an enchanted hopper. These are about 1 mil, so if you use the other minions, and if you use my last video, you should have that in no time, so keep that in mind. And I want to say this will pay itself back insanely fast, so keep that in mind is what I meant to say. You're going to want corrupt soil, which this part is a bit more expensive. This is over 2.2 million, as you can see there, but trust me, it is well worth it, because these things will drop corrupted fragments and sulfur once you have the corrupt soil on. Now, you may notice these items do not sell very high. This is 650 coins, this is 1.28k. That's not very high. But the thing is, they drop so many of these. I killed just a couple of slimes just to clear up the area, and I have 13 corrupted fragments and 13 sulfur and all that. So, as you can see, you get a lot of these, and you also get a lot of slime, which also sells very high. So, if, say, I went away for night, to sleep as one does, so these have been left alone for about the same amount of time as all those other minions, but in this enchanted hopper, that is 217,000 coins. Here, I've got 236,000 coins because this one has diamond spreading with it. Here, I have 233, so that is almost 700,000 coins from a couple slime minions. These are not max level or anything. These are level 9s and level 10, and there's only 3 of them. So imagine what you can do with a setup that is maxed out. It will be a lot of money to set up, but from what I've heard, people can make about 15 million coins in a day from a setup like that with all the minion slots that you can get. Anyway, on to the 4th method, which thankfully does not have anything to do with minions this time. This is a very, very high profit method. It is also a pretty long wait passive method, but this one will make insane money if you're willing to wait. So anyway, this method, if you could not tell by the pet that I have selected currently, is actually guardian pet flipping. I have seen very few people ever talking about this, but it makes insane money in the early game. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go and search up Guardian in the auction house, you're going to want to go to Tools and Misc, and you're going to want to look for lowest price. Now, generally you're going to want to look at no filter, and especially the commons and uncommons, or sometimes even the rares if you get lucky, but I don't really suggest those because they're going to be very expensive in comparison to the other two for what we're trying to do with this method. So you're going to see right now, uncommon is 600k, common just under 350, so considering that it's like 12k if I remember right to upgrade, I do not recommend buying that uncommon, so you would want to buy the common. And for example, I'm going to be talking about my specific guardian right here, level 62, and you're going to essentially want to buy whatever the cheapest or most cost-effective one, and you're going to want to level it up as much as possible. Now, I would suggest going to about level 70 or 80 by just literally having this thing equipped when you do the experimentation table for enchanting XP, because that will level it up insanely fast, just because this pet technically is an enchanting pet, so it will get bonus XP from that. But the reason that we're doing all this is, when you look at the guardian pets, you'll see there's, of course, as anyone would know, many different tiers of rarity. Now that, there's no doubt of that, that's just a simple fact. But when you go to the epic, you'll see that's about 5 million coins, and when you go to the legendary, that's 10 million coins for it. The big thing there is that is a massive gap. So that's what we're going to be taking advantage of with this method. Because the thing is, you can upgrade the guardian pet at cat once you get it to an alright level. Or, well, you don't have to wait till then, but I suggest, getting it to an alright level, then upgrading it. Anyway, you're going to upgrade it to the rare level, then you're going to upgrade it to the epic level, which will take about 2 days if I recall correctly, and then you're going to upgrade it to the legendary, which will take 5 days. It'll cost 2 point something million coins, I forget exactly, and it'll cost a stack of enchanted prismarine shards or crystals, I forget exactly which, but they're both the same price roughly, so you're just going to want to buy them from the bazaar over there, and you'll be set with no worries at all. So let's just say that this whole process costs 3 million coins, including the levels before legendary, so like, you know, rare to epic, and whatever else. So let's just say 3 million. I'm not saying for sure, that's just my estimate without doing much math. But even with that estimate, which pretty generous, not gonna lie, I'd say it's closer to maybe like 2.8 or something around there. But with that estimate, you're still gonna be making about, you know, 2 million coins of profit from if you were selling a epic one, as compared to if you're selling a legendary one. So let's look once again at the good old epic ones. 5 million coins, right? That's solid money, and that'll be a lot quicker, so that is also an option. But if you're going hardcore with the passive methods, and you are, let's say, going away out of town for a week, or you just don't feel like playing for a week, then you can turn it into a legendary. That's gonna be about 2 point something mil, and then after that, you're gonna have 10 mil instead. So that is so much more money. That's literally about 2 million coins to 3 million coins just for waiting 5 extra days. So I absolutely suggest doing this. Once again, this method has carried me in this profile and my last one in terms of coins in the early game, so I absolutely suggest it once again. This will do great things for you once you get used to it. I even suggest having multiple guardians, just like I do. Even if it's only 2, one that you're ranking up and one that you're leveling at a time, it will go so much faster, and you will make so much more money. Anyway, on to the next method. Won't make as much money per item, but it should be a lot faster, so let's get headed to that one right now. Finally, we have another secret little technique, just like last time, except this time is from a person I've played with several times on here, right behind me as you can see. And this person here has suggested a method that I had not actually heard about yet, that involves the new addition of having, where is it? Right here, in the Dwarven Mines, you can get Sorrow items now, which you then can turn into a Sorrow chestplate by getting 24 of those, not 14. And let's just show, for example, you get 24, that'll be about 12.5 million coins, so it's not cheap, but if you've done the other methods by now, you should be good for that. So then, after you've gotten those for about 12.5 million right now, you're gonna want to go into your crafting table, and I know I obviously don't have them right now, but you're going to be able to make a Sorrow chestplate. And it's just going to be made the same way as any other chestplate, you know, just 8 of the item, but in this case it's going to be 3 in each slot, so of course that's why it's 24. But as you can see here, when you go and you search up Sorrow, and you go to lowest price, and you find a chestplate specifically, the cheapest one right now is 14 million coins, so that is a easy profit of over 1.5 million coins, and it's of course mostly passive. You know, there is some work to it, but a lot of that work is just waiting, especially if you use the other money methods that I mentioned, which are also just waiting. Anyway, make sure to leave a like if this content helped you at all. Make sure to comment any other ideas or methods you have for maybe a future updated version of this, or maybe like a part 2 kind of. And definitely make sure to subscribe if you liked this kind of content and if it helped you. At 500 subscribers, I will be doing another giveaway of, as of right now, I'm thinking at least 10 million coins, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Till next time, everyone, and goodbye.